Welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And this, my friends, is The Thunder Show, aka WLTV, the internet's most passionate wine programming. And you, my friends, are a part of it. The Vaynerchuks are the juice that lets me do this show every day, in and out, up to almost 400 episodes. And do we have a dandy for you on episode 400? As a matter of fact, we should probably soon, in the next couple days, link up episode 300, 200, 100. They're always very special when they've got the double Zippo at the end of them. So, today's show is very interesting to me, as I want to get right into a quick rant, which is peeing me off. A lot of kids are watching the show, Mod, so I got to be careful. People out there, I know you're watching right now, and I know a lot of the Maniacs have been transformed because a lot of people email me about this, but if you're watching for the first time, and if you're a serious wine collector and you've got a big cellar, or if you're a big Wall Street guy, or a Hollywood guy, or a politician, or gal, and you're very serious about wines, you need to recognize something, and you're making a mistake, a lot of you, which is that you think red wine is superior to white wine, that you pee on the white wines, that you diss them, you downplay the quality and the excitement of white wine in today's wine world. And that is an enormous mistake, and I promise you one that I will not allow you to continue as long as I can be in your ear yapping away about this Vayner movement, which is to change the wine world from its preconceived notions. Big article coming out of the UK about better wines will make you, more expensive wines will make you think the wine is better. A big study, that we're going to have to link up, Mod, that a lot of people are talking about, and a lot of people email me about. So really interesting stuff. It's just amazing to me how much preconceived notions play a factor in the wine world, probably in all of life. And so I want to burst out right now and do a wild white episode. We've got 3 very interesting white wines. The last one's kind of standard. It's a Cote de Rhone Blanc, but I know a lot of you, if you admit it to yourself right now, little pseudo side question, have you ever had a Cote de Rhone Blanc? I guarantee you that the entire Vayner Nation, when you see all the answers today, you will be shocked how many people have not. And then 2 very obscure wines that we'll get to in 1 second. And a big-time cheese, the Tocai Marc de Jura, which is an amazing raw cow's milk from the mountains of Jura, which are rinded in brandy. It's just unbelievable. Really interesting cheese. Everybody's yapping about downstairs, so we're going to try that. I'm excited about that. And I'm very excited about making food, especially cheese, a bigger part. Because, my friends, cheese is pimp. All right, so before we get into tasting the wines, 2 other big announcements. A lot of you are asking to see me. I'm going to be in 2 places, and I'd love to see you. I am going to be at the Boston Wine Expo in early February, and in early April, I will be at Taste of Washington. So you know what? I have an idea. Mott, link it up.
I'm about to.
Link it up, Mott.
Because that's what I was born to do.
That's right, baby. A little crisscross action here on The Thunder Show. Mott, link up the Boston Wine Expo, the Taste of Washington, the article out of the UK from Reuters that a lot of people are talking about. I need the Vayner Nation to see that. What else should we link up? I just like linking it up. People want to be linked up, but they don't want the t-shirts. That's the funny part. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel just used.
You were born to link it up, though. I like that. Anyway, I'm going to start with the cheese because I'm addicted to cheese, and I love cheese, and I'm really, really excited about this. This is from the Jura area, which actually makes some really interesting wines as well. This is a co-op cheese. So all the farmers in this mountain range get together, bring all their cow milk, and make this cheese together. The Tocai Marc de Jura is a very interesting cheese. It's a $15 a pound cheese, so far from inexpensive. Cows really are eating up there in the mountain grasses. Little funky funk action. Really nice creaminess going on as well, though. A beautiful, classic mild to mid-tier smell coming through. Oh, man, this is good. This is more in the style of a Maubière that a lot of people would be familiar with. Completely coats your palate. Little hint of sharpness, but not too much. Nice grassiness, almost straw-like quality. A little lemon rind kind of component on the mouthfeel. The cheese dudes downstairs were like, Gary, you have to do this. We know you're doing the funky whites today. This is a cheese that goes amazing with white. Mott, link it up. Justin's email, because we don't have a site yet to allow you to buy cheese. But if you're interested in a pound of this great cheese. Justin, the head of our cheese gourmet department, email you. He will hook you up. I know we don't have a lot of this. This is completely fantastic. I'm all about it. Anyway, let's get into the wines. The first wine. This is killer stuff. The first wine is the Venge 2006 Bianco Spettro. 47% Chardonnay, 44% Sauvignon Blanc, 9% Viognier, 14.3 alcohol content. Venge, Niels Venge and Kirk Venge, his son, are the winemakers on this wine. This wine rolls in at $24 US, which is, you know, a fairly premium price. This cheese rips. And has the luxury of being scored 90 points by Robert Parker, the most important wine critic in the US of A, and so obviously people buy it. A very different kind of blend, Chard, Sauvignon Blanc, Viognier, you know, an SV, a CSV, which is kind of nutso and funso. So I'm excited about trying this wine. So let's take this wine and let's smell it. So let's see what's going on here. Actually, really interesting. Hold on one second. There's actually a very interesting kind of chemical component to this wine that I'm trying to put my finger on. Almost like laughing gas kind of component. You know, if you ever had a root canal when you're 10 years old, like I have, they laughing gas you, and I've still not forgotten that smell. And that's what's coming through a little bit here. Also a little bit of a creaminess, a nice lemon zest kind of component, little hints of straw coming through as well. Aromatically very clever and very good. Very interesting, and again, a lot of times these different whites are going to aromatically bring the thunder, and to me that is a huge opportunity for more exploring and more interesting wines out there. This is a wine on the nose that is really quite interesting, especially because this very intriguing laughing gas component. I'll be honest with you, the more I smell this, the more I'm getting a little lightheaded. A little melon kind of coming through as well now. Very aromatically interesting, a wine that I absolutely adore on the nose. Let's give it a whirl. Nice acidity, a nice combo of weight and crispness. I think what they were going for might have happened here. You know, Chardonnay and Viognier to bump up the volume, but the Sauvignon Blanc to give it a freshness factor. I get a little bit of grapefruit. I'm getting a little heat on the palate, which is bothering me a little bit. Alcohol is springing a little too much. Trying to combo with the cheese, just for kicks and giggles. A little improv action here. Not like the entire show is an improv. I'm sitting here trying to force myself to like it a little bit more than I do, but it is what it is. I like it because stylistically, thought process wise, and a lot of components, I'm very high on it. At the end of the day, it becomes a little bland and a little muted. I get a lot of honey component on the finish that I find like dull honey. You know, like a big bucket at Price Club for $2.99 honey instead of an artisan honey and $12 in a jar. You know what I mean? I mean, that crispness, that focus of flavor that we all look for in the subtleties, even in our vegetables. You know, carrots don't all taste the same. That's what's going on in this wine. Its focus of flavor is a factor. F cubed. Its focus of flavor is a factor. Oh, Mott, I think we have a new t-shirt. F cubed. I like that. Actually, it makes a lot of sense, and I'm pretty pumped right now. It's something that I want to use more often. Please, Vaynerchuk, remind me if I never use it again. There's a component to all products that we consume that I think allow us to taste flavors, and then as it's a better quality product or wine, the flavors are more focused, more refined, and it's fruit focus. I already forgot it. What is it? Fruit focus factor is a little bit of an issue with this wine because it just seems bland. It's just like blah, and the blah factor here is an issue. I think this is an 88-point wine. I think Parker went a little bit too high. I think there's a lot of wines from Grave and Bordeaux that remind me of this style at far less prices. As a matter of fact, the wine in our Christmas pack That's right. The what was that wine? The Kayak, $15, $16 white Bordeaux. I think reminds me quite a bit of this, and is maybe even superior. It was a little bit crisper and a little cleaner. This were a little bit duller, but a little fuller. I feel good about my decision, and I'm ready to move on. Wait a minute. I almost forgot. I want to make an obnoxiously big announcement right now. We talked yesterday about our wine holidays and our trips. And I wanted to tell you very simply that everybody who is a Vaynerchuk, who is a big fan of Wine Library TV, who loves Wine Lib, who thinks I'm okay, needs to mark down right now on their calendars March 22nd. Huge event here at the Wine Library, especially for Vaynerchuks. Goodie bags, tastings, free food, lots of good prices, lots of craziness, special guests, the craziest Vaynerchuk event ever. March 22nd at Wine Library. Mark your calendars right now. It's going to be huge. I'm going to be here. Pictures, kissing babies, kissing pigs, giving away clothes, free wristbands, books, hats, t-shirts, whatever the heck you want. We are going to make it a straight carnival of wine enthusiasm on March 22nd here at Wine Lib. Yes, it's worth a $200 plane ticket. Get here, maybe a tasting afterwards at a local restaurant mod. We're going to make a smorgasbord, a brouhaha, a conundrum, a mix of the best excitement ever, March 22nd, because a lot of you don't have a wine vacation, and you guys need to experience some fun. So on 3/22/08 at the Wine Library, all day, like 11 a.m. to like 5 p.m., we're going to hook it up. Mott will link you up, and we will have the absolute greatest day, a Vaynerchuk explosion here at the Wine Library, March 22nd. You're not going to be around?
Do I have the day off?
Not quite, Mott. You're going to need to be here to link people up. Please be here. Mark your calendars. We'll do some in-store tastings. I just want to make a party. I mean, that, my friends, is what wine's all about. So I'm taking the step. I talked to Lizzie. She gave me the Saturday to come in. We're going to have a big-time day. Please make sure you can make it. I'm giving far more time. Heck, I usually give you 3 weeks to go to San Francisco. So I'm giving you plenty of time. Make sure you're here. We're going to rock it out. I'm excited. Palmina, 2006 Tocai Friulano from Santa Ynez Valley in California. This wine is $20 US. And Tocai Friulano is from the Friuli region in Italy, the grape variety, which is northeast of Italy. This wine is $20 US. Bones, as we like to say. And this comes from a great guy, Mr. Clifford is his name, as I like to call him. And he makes some great Italian varieties in this Palmina brand. And I've enjoyed a lot of his wines through the years, especially some of his Pinot Grigios and Nebbiolo. I've not had the 06 Tocai Friulano, so I'm excited about that from the Rhone vineyard. I'm really, really excited about this. You rarely see Italian varietals, especially white Italian varietals, making an appearance in the Cali world. So it's exciting to see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on here. It's got some nice color. Let's dip a little bit for Clifford. There you go, my man. And let's give it a sniffy sniff. This is interesting. It's like a grapefruit candy exploding. Very interesting grapefruit component. I get a little bit of like a sweet honeycomb kind of component. Little hints of green grass, a little bit of like a sugar cube, like old school, white sugar cubes like my grandpa Shia used to put in his tea. Interesting stuff. Very interesting nose as well. Again, aromatically exciting. Let's give it a whirl. Nice Christmas. Really nice, wow. Really nice acidic, fruit-forward, ripping finish, which I like quite a bit. Very focused, laser sharp. Yes, this is like in some shady neighborhoods, your friend that pulls out a razor blade from under his tongue. And that razor blade then slices you right down the middle of your tongue with its flavor. So this razor blade is not a normal razor blade. Oh no. This is loaded with grapefruit, grass, and hints of mint. And it's ripping right down. The focus of this wine is amazing. I mean, it's like, right down Broadway, baby. Right down Broadway. And so I'm really enjoying the focus of this fruit. focused fruit factor. I love that. The F cubed in this wine is off the charts, where the finish is awesome. There's a lot going on for this wine. It's lacking in delicious factor. And even though those flavors sound interesting in component, there's a little bit of like a lull in the delicious factor. But that doesn't bother me at all. And with food friendly, it's way up there. I'll be honest with you. The biggest thing that bothers me with this wine is its price. I think this wine is very good. I'm enjoying it. It's got some great focus. It's got some great fruit. I think I'm going to like having cheese on the set. That's a really good combo. Actually changes the flavor profile of the cheese a little bit. Anyway, I think that there's a lot of Italian wines, a lot of crisp white Italian wines, whether it's a Vermentino or Vernaccia, Greco de Tufa, Tocai Friulano, that give me this enjoyment as well in a $15 range, even with a weak dollar. So that's my biggest scream right now about this wine, that there's so many great white Italian crisp white wines available in the U.S. market in the $12 to $18 range that I think rival this wine. But we're not here to debate its price-quality ratio per se. The wine is extremely well made, very focused, very, very well done. I love this subtle grapefruit component it's got going on. Very good stuff. I'm going to score this wine 90 points. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it good. And it's definitely a wine that I think pairs extremely well with a lot of foods. I think it goes really great with sea bass, any kind of like Greek or, fish, just, the whole fish. Give me the head. I like sucking out the eye. It grosses out everybody at the table, but that's what I do. This to me is the perfect wine if you're looking to pair with great, grilled, pan-seared, just fish. Give me the fish. No butter, please, is what I like to say. I look up to the way. No butter, please. Just crisp fish, clean, and just a little lemon and this wine, and you're in paradise. Maybe some nice weather, maybe a good friend, and you're off to the races in a happy moment in life. And that's where wine brings a lot of benefit. It adds a little spice, a bow, a little sprinkle to a already glorious moment in life. Use wine that way. You will enjoy it much more. Very good wine. Makes, that wine put me in a mindset of happiness, if you could tell. And that's kind of cool. And I think that's a little zenny, but definitely has some value when it comes to wine. And a very nice, well-made wine. St. Combs, 2006, Cote de Rhone, Viognier, Marsanne, Roussanne kind of blend. 90 points, Wine Spectator, $16 US. And Cote de Rhone Blancs are absolutely, positively overlooked. Changing the wine world, whether you like it or not. Come on, zoom in on that. I like that. It's pretty cool, right? SoCal. Anyway, 16 bones, 90 points Wine Spectator, whoopsie, and really a very interesting category to me because of one that is so widely overlooked. White Rhones, white Cote de Rhones are not being drank in this country whatsoever. And I don't want to see you raise your hand and leave a comment. No, it's not a highly consumed category whatsoever. They continue to get great press, 90 points, $16. Rating from Wine Spectator, price ratio is very high. And great color, good wines, and I'm excited about trying this wine. I consume a lot of white Rhone wines. Yes, normally in the Condrieu category, but white St. Joseph's I've liked as well, but I'm very excited about trying this. Let's give it a whirl. Let's give it a smell test. Now, at the end of the day, one of the biggest reasons I think as a wine connoisseur or wine expert or somebody that really enjoys and has tasted a lot of wines, why I gravitate towards white, crisp, non-Chardonnay based white wines a lot of times, esoteric, obscure grape varietals, is because, as you know, I've been watching the show for 400 episodes or so now already, I'm very high on the bouquet, the nose. And white wines, especially aromatically inclined white grape varietals that are really outside the Chardonnay because you get the oak monster, are so interesting to me, fascinating, for lack of a better word. And this wine is no different. This wine almost comes across to me as the pink rubber ball. Did you ever, the bouncy ball? If you were like me, you took a little bit of a knife and you cut it and you split it in half and wondered what happened when you would bounce it in halves and weird things would happen. But there's a smell that is associated with that pink rubber ball that is bouncing in my mind right now. which is kind of interesting. This also has a very distinct olive oil component. If you love real olive oil from, Italy, like or Portugal or places like that where you get the real olive oil, fresh pressed days after. Aromatically, they have a lot of interesting things going on, and I'm getting that as well in this. So a pink rubber bouncy ball with fresh squeezed olive oil component. How cool is that? There's also a very darling lemon pie. Not just lemon pie, darling. It's like coddling. You very much enjoy it. Like Betty White made it. You're like, oh, Betty. It's like that kind of lemon pie component. So very intriguing, different kind of nose. I'm feeling it, and I'm ready to taste this wine. And this is what you get. You have to start discovering white Rhones. Please, people. I promise you. I know last year was a big year for Albarino, big year for Tarantes, but this, especially for more serious wine drinkers that are not looking for a casual drink, maybe a special bottle, you spend $20 and $30 on Chardonnays, Pouilly-Fusées, and all this stuff, and they're sitting here at $16, wines of this caliber. This wine is a creamsicle of just explosive, beautiful fruit. I get pineapple. I get a little bit of like rubber. Again, there's this rubber bouncy ball kind of component going on, not only on the nose, but on the flavor. Mouthfeel for days. The heaviness, the viscous thing that you're looking for is on there in a big time way. Cloying kind of like sugar comb, honeycomb cereal kind of coming through on the mouthfeel as well. Long finish, golden, pineapple rind coming through as well. Just a very interesting wine. Great acidity as well. Just a complicated wine and bringing a lot of thought. I'm sitting here like, it makes you think. There's a lot going on here. As I'm blabbering, I'm trying to really dissect more of the flavors that are going on here because there's second and third tier flavors that I'm not pinpointing yet. This is a good wine. This wine is extremely complex and complicated for $16 US, and one that I would absolutely recommend that most people pair with food. I would love to see you bring this to something a little bit heavier, a meaty side. Talk about a white wine that will go with steak. This wine is ripping. I'm going to score this wine 91 plus. I actually think the Spectator underrated it, and for $16 US, that is a major buy, an anti-Paz with 7 Z's, a wine that absolutely brings the thunder, and this is what wine's all about. These last two wines are quite exceptional, but I'll tell you, there's a big nod here. And this is why points stink, right? 91, 90, but it's just the way it is. You can yell at me all you want, you're right. Anyway, question of the day. What is still the most fascinating thing? Let's not say fascinating. What's still the most confusing thing to you when it comes to wine? Before I leave today, I want to give a huge shout out to one of my favorite all-time Vaynerchuks, John Corwin, who is a big guy at eBay, and now he's leaving. His team emailed me, and they wanted him to get a huge shout-out. Happy 10-day belated birthday for you, John, as well. John was at the first original San Francisco Vaynerchuk party. He was also at the Crush Pad Complex a couple weeks ago. He actually won the blending. He's a great guy, a huge supporter. I'm a big fan of his. He's now going off to do like eBay Europe, Craigslist, all this crazy, amazing stuff. He's an amazing guy. I want to give him a huge birthday wish here on the Thunder Show from his peeps at eBay and from me personally, and more importantly, it just keeps the family going. Mott, I love these shout-outs. Hey, can you tell my grandma it's her 97th birthday? This is awesome. I love it. I love you guys. I asked you a question a day. Now I'm going to leave you with this. You, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world. And you know what, guys? Honestly, whether they like it or not.